mistress of my own design. I wish you could set me free, but the price upon my head is something no one else could ever pay. This is just a waking dream. I still don't understand the meaning you call this reality. Does anybody know what the fuck is happening?
Hello and welcome to the Nonsense Chronicles. This is Doug Sashery, and as always, joined by and to my left in a new setup in our studio.
Yep. Rob Mendiola.
Greetings, Rob.
Greetings, Doug.
I like what y'all did here while I was gone.
It looks a little bit more open, right? And a little more roomy, right?
Yeah. Y'all had time to fiddle while I was
We did.
while I was traveling.
I took advantage of that time, and I was like, we need to move this around, and anticipating the banner going back here
Yeah.
behind the chair that most of our guests are on.
Yeah.
So I thought it would just open it up a little bit better.
That's good, and it's easier for spring to come in and shoot stuff too because
Yeah.
it's,
That was also one of the main points to kind of consider.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I'll look a lot like
It was fun. She's a big help. I couldn't do all this without her.
But we like to chastise her, but
She just put me casters on the subwoofer for
did
band.
Did she do that?
Yeah, she
Nice.
was awesome.
She does do everything.
So you're back from West Coast tour.
I am, but I'm back for I got back. I'll have basically 2 days home tomorrow morning.
Uh-huh.
I leave for Louisiana because it's my dad's 90th birthday.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
this is. Look, let me tell you, this is a big deal, man. Because his younger siblings, his older siblings, none of them lived that long, and my grandfather, Tony Sashery, lived almost 90. He missed it by about almost 2 months. It was a little bit short of 2 months, and
Technically good.
yeah. Now it's a big deal, man. And I over the last maybe 12 to 15 years, I have to go and spray with WD-40 on him every once in a while to keep him rolling. But and man, my cousins have they've lost both parents. None of them have a parent left. You know,
So you're the only one.
and I have both.
That's good.
And they like dad'll be 90, mom's already 91, getting ready to be 92, man. And
Yeah, definitely get out there then.
yeah, definitely. We're gonna have a big hoorah tomorrow, you know, and
Cool.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So
Very good.
get in there and then stay one extra day, go by the facility and take care of a couple things.
But today we're going to put you to work on the Nonsense Chronicles podcast.
That's right. We got to catch up since I've been gone,
we do.
man.
So what do we have going on today?
Today we have Mr. Aaron Nordstrom of Gemini Syndrome. Hey, Aaron, how you doing today, buddy?
Not to be confused with Aaron Neville.
Yeah,
Yes,
there you
which I've come so close to calling him several times. You get that?
I just want to get it out in the open before it sneaks up on us.
Yeah.
That's actually that's actually a good policy, man. I I was sure that my kids were going to tell their mom and me one day, "You're ruining my life." But guess what? Because I told them that like at an early age, they never use that ever. So I think if you get ahead and say things,
Yeah,
it nips in the butt.
right.
But I might be wrong. How you doing today, buddy? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Glad to be here. I love the name of your podcast.
That was all Doug, man.
I feel right at home. I feel like I belong here already.
Did I tell you the story about how I tried to when we were trying to name it? And it's
You
funny.
told me, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like
No.
this was not the first choice I had, but I after my first choice unbelievably was unavailable, I think I did like 3, and this is the first one that came to mind that everybody seemed to like, and I liked it too. But the first name of the podcast was going to be in the same sense of thought, at least in the name. It was going to be called Purple Monkey Dishwasher. Now, that is an obscure, I thought, Simpsons reference from like one of the early seasons. And no, would you know that some son of a, already has that damn name as a podcast, man? I was like,
Beat you,
God,
man. They beat
Go
you.
dang
get
it.
out of here.
Yeah, I was like, you got to be kidding me.
I mean, you can't hate him for that, right?
yeah, no, I mean, like, good job. Yeah, because that would have been
Great minds, right? Great
Yeah,
minds.
That's
Absolutely.
right. But yeah,
So Gemini syndrome.
yeah. Now, I've got questions to ask about Jim.
Have you seen them?
Okay. I just got back off of that run I got on.
Yeah.
And Aaron was part of it, and it was part of kind of like Waylon and Willie, and a few of them would get together, and Chris Christopherson, they would do like the songwriter things, and they'd each play a song, but everybody else would help play their song. Well, Aaron was part of Scotty Austin, and God damn it, look at me,
Peter Dante.
Yeah, man,
Peter
Peter's
Dante,
gonna
yeah.
stroke me out for that one. But no, it was great because everybody got to play a little bit, and it makes you really, I think you appreciate the song a lot more when you hear it done like that, and then you can go and hear it live. But Aaron was with Gemini Syndrome. Man, God dang it, I know I've seen them before because they used to run a lot with Drowning Pool. And so it had to happen today. So I think we probably passed in a back hallway somewhere once or twice before, but I wouldn't have recognized him then as he is now. So before I even get to Jim, that is not him anymore. That Rob just picked up a picture of you, and no, he's got a cleaned up look these days, man.
Okay.
But where did it all start? Where did music start for you, Aaron?
Oh, in the house, very young. My mom is so I'm adopted. First off,
Hey, me too.
My adoptive mother, she, I was the deal was done before I was born, so to say. So she's always, she's my mom. I don't consider it anything other than that.
Yeah.
Anyway, she took singing lessons from a lady named Anne Perillo out of Chicago, who was a world famous opera teacher and had done tours with like Pavarotti and stuff like that.
Wow.
So my mom came up singing kind of like gospel and also musical theater and kind of like big band, Rat Pack kind of era music. She loves that kind of stuff. So I was raised with music around me. I started singing very young. Before I even remember, she said I was making harmonies to the radio in the back seat, and she tells me a story where we were listening to like contemporary Christian radio, right? I'm like 2 years old, and I'm in the car seat, and I start harmonizing, and she, being a singer, freaks out. She turns around, she goes, "Whoa, you're harmonizing. Keep doing that." And I'm 2, so I have no idea what she's talking about. And I go back to singing the melody, and she recognizes that she's confusing the 2-year-old child who doesn't have that strong of a grasp on language yet. And she leaves me to my own devices, and I start singing harmonies again. So she recognizes that there's like a musical ear. And there's pictures of me at like 3 years old, or even before that, in a diaper, reaching up to a piano. I can't even see the keys yet, but I'm trying to play it. So she had me in lessons really young. I was a pretty talented young piano player. I was involved in all sorts of choirs and church singing, and there was a private choir called the Young Naperville Singers I was in. And I played music, all the time. It's all I remember, even going to like family parties, as a child, and taking the little plastic keyboard Casio thing with, and I would just sit in a room by myself and practice while the adults did whatever Thanksgiving nonsense. And I turned 11 and I got into junior high, and I met this kid, Justin, and his brother was in a band. He was in high school, he was older than us, and he had like a Fender Strat and like distortion pedals. And I thought that was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. So guitar was way cooler than jazz piano. So I started doing that, and I learned how to play drums, and I learned how to play bass, and I started a band, and I played my first show when I was like 14 years old. And I've been doing it ever since. I ended up going to college for psychology and music, and then I ended up going to Musicians Institute in Hollywood in 2003 for about a year and a half, and I worked there for about 4 years, and then I got my first pro gig as a guitar player in the band OTEP in 2007. Did that for a couple of years. I stepped away from that project. Had another couple things that didn't take off because that was like 2008 when you know what happened in 2008.
Yeah.
You know what happened in 2008. Nothing happened for anybody in 2008. Yeah. So we were trying to get something off the ground post OTEP, and it was just really hard, and nothing was happening. So I took a trip out to LA, and I was kind of lost. I didn't know really what to do, if I should continue pursuing music. I didn't know if I should move back to LA. I didn't know if I should go back to school. I didn't know. And I went out I went out day drinking one day. I was staying at my buddy's studio apartment in Hollywood, and I went to our local watering hole. And I got a little day drunk, and I went back to his apartment, and I sat down and I said a prayer, and I was like, "Listen, God, I don't know what to do." I said, "Just I'm malleable, so show me where to go. Do I stay in LA? Do I stay in Chicago? What do I do with my life?" And I took a nap, and I woke up to a MySpace email from the original guitar player at Gemini, and at the time it was just him and the drummer. And we had a mutual friend I went to college with, and he'd heard that I was in LA, and he recommended that this guy Rich reach out to me. And so I met those guys once. They were like, "We're looking for a singer," and I took that as my answered prayer. Nice. And I went and met these dudes, and I hung out with them one time. I flew back to Chicago. I wrote 14 songs, and then I flew back to LA and moved in with them after having spent an hour and a half in a room with these guys. We moved in together. Then we all got we filled in. We got Alessandro, our bass player, and our other original guitar player, Mike, who recently passed away. We all moved into an apartment in the Valley. We started touring, and then here we are, 15 years later. A couple record deals later, bunch of tours, thousands of miles.
That's awesome, man. What about the how did the name Gemini syndrome come about?
So there's two stories of that.
One
is that it was inspired by these twin girls that were in Hollywood. I didn't personally know these two chicks.
And twins.
But they were kind of band chicks, I guess you could say.
Yep. That's
and
the thing.
they had drama that followed them around. So
no way.
The first no way. The first kind of instance of the name was they were Geminis, and it was their Gemini syndrome.
Nice.
Upon further reverse engineering, if you will.
Yeah.
The Gemini in the zodiac is the twins, clearly, and represents more or less the duality, or the yin yang, so to say, in Western terminology. And a syndrome is defined as a collection of traits or qualities. And if you go back to the old Greek, the word sin means to coagulate or to bring together or to coalesce. So I prefer to look at it as the merging of the polarities of our existence.
That's good.
That's
man.
a cool way to think.
Yeah. See, I'm a Gemini, so I kind of was like, well, I don't know if I like the first one, but
I'm shallow, so I'm gonna go with the first one.
And I didn't. Yeah. That's why I changed it. That's why we changed it to the second one. It's a funny story and all that, but I wanted it to have some kind of meaning, and it is a cool sound. I mean, the words sound cool together, and I'm a psych student, so
it's totally cool.
All on board with that. I'm all about astrology and esoteric philosophy and that kind of stuff. So.
That leads way to great marketing as well, right?
Yeah, no doubt. We got a cool symbol. You can see that it's like the kind of infinity symbol in between the two columns. It kind of looks like a DNA strand. There's all sorts of different ways you can interpret the symbol.
Exactly.
That's been a huge part of the band, is symbolism. We usually create some sort of symbolic representation for each song, and me and the drummer in particular are very interested in esoteric mysticism and hermetic philosophy, and all of that stuff is just founded on symbols. And so we just
so many people are just intrigued by that.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it works on a level that's subconscious, right? It's something that I think all humans are intrigued by, even if they're not aware of it on a conscious level.
Yeah.
So
that's a sometimes words have two meanings. Somebody wrote that before in a song. I hope to God you know what song. Yeah. I hope to God you know what song I'm talking about, Rob.
I mean, I
talking about a tree lies a brook. There's a songbird who sings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, because Rob's a musician, so I'd like die if he didn't. I was like, please. Yeah. And my wife's not a Zeppelin fan. I don't get that.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up on that. I feel like
Yeah, I mean, it's,
definitely part of my life.
Yeah, it's part of. Man, you just.
Yeah, every guitarist,
I mean, come on.
singer,
Yeah.
drummer.
But no, I like the thought process in that. Some of the new stuff, and I love.
So this is metal.
I would say now if you look at him.
What would you categorize it as?
Oh, he was going to tell you it probably. Now I just call it rock and roll, but he's going to say it's probably. Are you going to go with new metal?
We get termed as alternative metal.
Okay.
Because it's like there's some heavy stuff to it. There's definitely some elements of new metal. Our guitar player is Meigs Rascone from the band Coal Chamber, which was one of the biggest new metal bands in the world, right?
Yeah.
And we all grew up on that stuff. I mean, even OTEP could be arguably new metal.
Yeah.
And I agree.
And we definitely came up in that era.
And you had new metal.
I did.
Yeah, you had new metal hair, so you had to. That's why I just assumed it. See what assumptions.
Yeah. But we weren't quite like I wasn't doing any of the rap rock stuff, and there was just I don't know. So they termed this alternative metal when we hit the scene in 2010, and I think that's more or less accurate, I guess.
I'm old school, so anything metal sounding metal for me, like
rock.
I just call it either rock and roll, metal. Blues.
Yeah, same. I put us in the world of like the Seven Dusts and the Deftones and the Tools and the Mudvaynes. There's like influence from those bands, and those are when I think new metal bands, I think Korn and Biscuit.
Yeah, Limp Bizkit's probably kind of new metal with the little
accents. And I don't feel
rap.
like. I don't feel like we quite fit in that, but I don't know, maybe we do.
But I mean, even Drowning Pool was considered new metal, but they don't do rap rock. That was never a thing.
Right. So we get lumped into all that, and it's just such a broad umbrella term. But I'm with you. It's hard rock. It's metal. It's rock and roll. I mean, we sing. I scream.
Right.
We got distortion on the guitars, but every once in a while there's a piano and there's a lot of melody to it. A lot of harmony going on. So it's not just all mush-ish.
This week we just lost the godfather of metal. Prince of Darkness.
We sure did.
Yeah, we sure did. I meant to get into that at the beginning, actually. I guess this will be our midway segment. That, man.
And they call it Black Sabbath heavy metal, which, it's still metal, so it's all the metalheads, right?
I guess go around and say what I mean to each of y'all, but to me, when I first got into rock, I think it was. Just because Iron Man was so cool. Now look. I was born in 66, so I'm talking about me catching that, I think, 1970 song, like in the later 70s. But I loved it. My parents did not want me to listen to that.
Yeah, devil music.
Of course not.
Yeah, and then I was turning, a new teen when Ozzy was going out on his own, and I saw him, Ozzy Osbourne's Rock Party, before there was Ozfest. And it was Brad Gillis had just taken over on guitar because Randy Rhoads had died. And man, let me tell you, anything like the cassettes that I had that they would wear out. I'd have to get new ones. And I think the biggest thing that bugs me, in fact, of all of that is the from that tour, they basically had they released a cassette, which was Speak of the Evil, which was Ozzy doing, which people say, Randy Rhoads, that he didn't want to do that, the old Sabbath covers, but they did it on that one tour. And I love that. Not that I don't like the old Sabbath, I love that, but I absolutely love that tour and that. But you can't find it on a damn cassette. It's not on anything digitally to download it whatsoever. But you can get it on YouTube.
Do you even have a cassette player?
No.
Yeah,
I
don't know anyone does.
Well, I want it digitally, but anyhow. But to me, like I said, it was just such a huge influence on the music that I listened to.
Oh yeah, we all grew up on it. If we like that music, anyways. But.
Yeah, it's huge. You know, like I said, it was him, Eddie Van Halen, and probably everybody else, because I didn't get into Metallica until later, and now that's my favorite. But Aaron, how did Ozzy grow on you as you were growing up, man?
Well, I think I got into the heart. Like I started getting into grunge, I guess, when I was in junior high, and like the Soundgardens and Nirvanas, and that's what got me into into rock music in the first place. And it was a very quick transition into Pantera and Typo Negative.
Yeah.
And, you know, I went to Ozfest 97. I mean, I knew who Ozzy was, and it was before my era.
Yeah.
So I was familiar with it, but it wasn't what I was gravitating to necessarily. I mean, there's definitely when I started playing guitar and listening to Randy and all that, I mean, he's just, you know,
Oh yeah,
he's
phenomenal.
one of the goats. One of the goats.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I went to numerous Ozfest. I saw the first Black Sabbath reunion with Pantera in Chicago when I was a teenager. It was a huge.
Nice.
I was probably more heartbroken when Dimebag died than
Right.
Yeah.
a lot of people I knew personally in my life. He was a huge influence. Just his attitude too, not just his guitar
Right.
playing, but the nonchalant, not taking anything too seriously. I envied that because I'm not that. I take everything too seriously and I get wound up, and so I just thought Dime was the man.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I saw Ozzy a whole bunch of times over the years, and clearly his sphere of influence was huge. Yeah, it was cool watching that last concert. There was just so many of my peers that were at that.
Yeah, God.
And there's a little bit of envy, you know, like, man, I wish I was there too. But
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I think
it is
everybody
what it
wished
is.
they were there.
You know what?
I'll be.
Go ahead, Aaron.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, damn it. I was going to say, but I don't want to play back and forth. But no, I was going to say, I had to think that they knew that it was really, really close. I mean, because of everybody that showed up and because of, they just had to know. I just assume.
Well,
Well,
I'm
you
sure
know, it's
you
funny.
know.
So I was going to say something on the same. I was going to say something on the same lines. Like everybody, I was almost a little bothered by the shock and awe of him passing away. Like Ozzy's been in bad health for a long time.
Right.
Yeah.
I think he should have stopped performing probably 10 years ago.
Yeah, I agree.
That poor guy. So like, I know we talked about my dog passing this week, which is
Yeah.
the day after Ozzy did. There was a lot of death this week.
Boy, talk about.
And in a similar way, man, my dog was suffering, and I'm
Right.
glad that he passed, so he didn't have to suffer anymore.
Right.
And I feel the same about Ozzy, and it's probably going to be an unpopular opinion, but
No, I mean, look,
I think the guy was probably suffering for a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
I
was
mean-
in constant pain.
yeah, he has Alzheimer's, you know, I mean, God, and look,
He had
to-
Parkinson's, right?
Parkinson's,
A
that's
rare,
right.
rare form
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
Parkinson's.
And Parkinson's is, I had an aunt and an uncle, you know, my dad's siblings that had that. And, yeah, I mean, if you ever sit next to somebody on a table that has, you'll get kicked about 50 times, you know, but it's a deal, man. And, it just affects your nerves and everything. And it can be very painful, you know, and, there's all sorts of different varieties of it. But yeah, I mean, I can't tell you how many times, that I thought, man, how is he even still alive? Just
and performing at
Yes.
that, like it was
yes,
unhuman in a sense.
Yeah.
yeah. It's like when Glenn Fry died, I was like, how the hell is Joe Walsh standing here and Glenn Fry's not? And I love both of them, But I was like, I can't believe this, but man, it's like I said, he left,
He had a great life, man. I mean, nobody can
Yeah, I
say
don't-
he
Sure
didn't.
did.
you
Sure did.
From a musician's point of view.
And you know what I read about that? Because I was kind of curious about his funeral. He didn't want a doom and gloom fest. That's exactly. Remember, I want to be spread. I don't want a funeral home involved.
Yeah, I don't want to.
I want some kind of room at
I think it's a big waste of money. It's a big.
a room at a
Front.
Hampton Inn. Just the kind of few friends. Friends can get together and bullshit. But and I like the fact that he did that because man, like he has left so much gold forever, man.
Sure.
Like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's nothing.
Gave us an entire culture, an entire culture for generations of kids to congregate when they feel ostracized from their normal cultures. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
And that's priceless.
I went back to work the day after, and I was downtown in the tunnels, and there was a guy with a blazer on, but underneath he had his Black Sabbath shirt on.
hell yeah.
I thought,
dude.
man, that is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is nice.
You know,
Yeah.
this corporate guy with his Black Sabbath.
Man, a lot
That
of
was
people.
awesome.
A lot of people did. I listened. My last 2 days driving back, I ran through nothing but Ozzy and
Yeah.
Sabbath, and yeah, that's definitely the case. Aaron, we were talking about you though for a second there.
We were, man.
That's all right.
That's a big subject.
Yeah, I did mean to get that on that early, but yeah, just
So, Aaron, you're in Hollywood now or Los Angeles? No?
I'm in Vegas.
Oh, you're in Vegas. Okay. Wow.
Vegas, baby.
That's why you were saying I feel the heat, dry. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's desert, high desert. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty acclimated to it. I was actually laughing yesterday. I was looking at the news, and they're like, "Ooh, there's a unseasonably low temperatures in Vegas are going to stick around." And I looked at the weather app, and it's like 103,
Oh, my
104. I'm
God.
like, "Yeah, cold for man. We're just living the best life we have." It's usually
Jesus.
118.
Yeah, I was
this
gonna
time
say. I say what is it gonna be like 96? You know, what I mean,
Are the homes
of year.
there
Yeah, that's our
insulated?
cool front.
yeah.
Are the homes there insulated differently than they probably are, right? Like, how do you not have like a $1,000 electric bill every summer?
You know, I couldn't tell you if they're different. The last house I lived in was built in like 53 or 51,
Mhm.
and it was brick, and that thing was like a pizza oven.
Like a pizza. Yeah.
It would just cook, man. And like my bedroom, the exterior wall was the brick,
Wow.
and you could feel the heat off of it.
Just the radiant
so I had to
heat.
like scoot I just had to scoot my bed into the off the wall a couple inches, so I wouldn't just be roasting my skull while I
Wow.
sleep.
God, I said that in probably. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, just it's a whole new world to live in. I lived in LA for a long time. I was born and raised in Chicago, so I've lived in a bunch of different spots, and you acclimate to it pretty quick. And it's kind of funny, like as we were on this tour this last week, we were in some pretty hot areas, and I don't know, I'm just more or less unaffected by it.
And you were fine.
I find that, I find that playing shows in particular, that's been one of the best benefits of living here is that no show is hot anymore.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when we got I left La Quinta and went to Redlands, and let me tell you, it felt like about 1,000 degrees temperature drop, and it's not that far away. It might be 10 miles, 15 miles.
Even last year, last July, we were in Pennsylvania with Drowning Pool.
Yeah.
And it felt like Texas.
Yeah,
It
well,
was freaking hot.
yeah, I remember people telling me, "What, you gonna come up here in July?" I'm like, "Oh no, well, compared to Texas, yeah, I'll come
But
up."
it was hot.
Yeah, it was hot.
It was very hot.
Yeah, but this is
So Vegas, wow.
yeah, and the heat there.
10 years.
Yeah, that's
10 years?
Yeah.
Wow. We did a comedian from Vegas, right?
yeah, Josh Ledwalder. Yeah, he's a. I wanted to see Josh this time through, but I might on this next time I go through in October, and because Josh is a great guy, man, and he seems to be doing really well. He's also a Midwesterner that moved west for his talent, but he.
Are there any shows on the Grand Canyon area? Like,
There's Aaron could probably speak to this, and I want to say CJ&M used to do some. I know there's a reservation in northern Arizona that they used to do some stuff with. But Aaron, do you know anything about that? Have you ever done anything over there?
No, I've never played the Grand Canyon. I've never been to the Grand Canyon.
oh, wow.
What the hell,
Of
man?
all the places I've
I
been,
know.
of all the places I've been in the country and the world, I've never been to the Grand Canyon. I intend to do it. But I think you're right about Drowning Pool doing some stuff. I remember hearing about some kind of event that was in that area that looked cool. But yeah, that's one of those spots we don't traverse too often.
Wow.
We drive past it all the time on tour. I've probably driven past the Grand Canyon hundreds of times.
Yeah, I did the same thing. Like, I think the first few times I went out west, I go right past it to get to Vegas, but
Yeah.
it's just out of sight. But I did see some really cool stuff this past trip that I was like, "Oh, I'm definitely going down, man." So
So have you been to the Sphere there for any shows?
I haven't been in it yet. I've been to it.
Okay.
I don't live the quintessential Vegas life. I don't go
Okay.
out a lot.
Oh, okay.
I like Vegas because we live about 5 miles off the strip, and it
Okay.
feels like a suburb. But then if I want to, and I want to get into anything, it's a 10, 15-minute drive, and I'm in the center of the city.
he's learned how to survive there. If somebody tells you anything different, they're not going to be there very long. I've talked to people that moved to Vegas, and they said, man, they had to learn right away just to stay out
Isn't
of.
that where Jakey Lee got shot in Vegas area?
Oh, I don't even remember. That was L.A. I thought.
He was definitely he was definitely in Vegas. I know
Yeah.
I know a guy who was working with him pretty consistently at a
He got shot
actually
walking his
where we
dog,
did
I
the
believe.
first.
Yeah, was that this year?
Yeah,
I think it was. Yeah.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. Or maybe late last
It
year.
wasn't
but
very
yeah,
long
it's pretty
long
recent.
ago. It's pretty recent.
Yeah,
And obviously
Yeah.
he's doing okay because he was at the show, right? The Aussie show.
I think he was.
Wow.
Yeah. So, Aaron, I got to ask you this, man. What's next for Gemini syndrome?
well, Gemini has been more or less on touring hiatus for coming up on a year and a half at this point. We're releasing the newest record we finished a couple years ago. The plan right now, as far as I understand, is to release this record and then to record the acoustic versions of these songs, some of the stuff that you saw me performing on this last tour as the full band, and release that as well.
That's cool.
And let me tell you,
And at some point start touring again. But just to round out this question, that's why I'm doing all this mannequin stuff and kind of doing these solo tours and getting into production and working with other bands and trying to help them manifest their songs in the way that they hear them, and just exploring new avenues, because 15 years of brutal touring takes its toll.
I'm glad
And we
I'm
just
glad you
needed to-
recognize that, man. Yeah, that is
yeah,
tough.
we just needed some time away. Some of us more than others, to be honest. And I'm not throwing anybody under the bus, and I'm not mad about
That's
it.
just
but
life,
I
man.
get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're not, I'm not 27 anymore. You know what I mean? I mean, there was a day where we would be out 10 months out of the year, and I remember coming home at one point from an 8-week tour and being home for like 43 hours, and then going out for another 7-week tour, and just being constantly away from home. And it was awesome. I loved it. I mean, at the time it was, exactly what I wanted to do with my life. I've seen the entire continental US. I played in just about every city there is, met a ton of people, toured with a ton of great bands, and now I'm in my early 40s,
Wow.
and I just need to do a little less of that. This last tour we just did with Scotty and Peter and Doug and all that was great. 8 shows, 3 of them unfortunately got canceled, but I mean, that was 10 days was perfect for me to be away from home and then get back and settle in. So we'll do another one of those deals in November with Peter and Scotty in the Midwest, and then maybe putting something together for December, another one of these kind of solo acoustic deals.
Yeah, let me tell you, man, I fell in love with Die With Me, that song, just because the way that he went on the stripped down version of it. I like the entire song now, but I mean, that's the first time I
Yeah,
heard
I
it.
love acoustic stuff, man.
Man, it was so good. It really was. And yeah, the way it's written and with the vocals, and they were doing, harmonies, and I love harmonies, and it was excellent.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's what
That was a real cool part about this run, was having them sing with me too, because when I write, if you listen to any of the Gemini stuff, it's just harmony written everywhere, right? I have harmonies all over I grew up in choir, so it's kind of like how my brain
that's what I
naturally
figured.
thinks about writing melodies. Yeah, I just hear that stuff.
Well, you have to have some. If you like harmonies, you have to be like me and appreciate the Eagles. Then.
Yeah.
I mean, Alice in Chains did some badass harmonies too, though.
Yeah, they are, man.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
kind of
But no, the Eagles. I'm a huge fan of the Big Lebowski, and every time somebody says that, I hate the fucking Eagles, man.
Oh damn, man. Yeah, I remember that. I forgot all about that. I'm like, God damn it.
Having a rough day, man.
Yeah, it's
I just watched that a couple days ago. Actually, that's one of my. I'm an ordained Dudist priest in the Church of the Latter-day Dude, and
Dude,
that's a real thing. Peter was tripping about that because he's ordained in the Universal Life Church, and I showed him my card I carried. He was like, "I am becoming that." So,
yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. Because
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, that's a new one. I'd heard of the Universal before.
You get a dude. I got a certificate on my bookshelf, and
You have to send us a link to that.
I'm a card carrying member, man.
That's awesome.
Damn, man. Yeah, did you?
Yeah. So I always kind of go back to that movie when I'm, that was like after Mocha Bean passed. So that was kind of my feel good movie. So that's fresh in my mind.
That's good.
I hate the Eagles, man. But those guys, I was just watching something on Instagram. I think Lizzie Hale may have posted it about how it's a video of the Eagles from the 70s or whatever, practicing like before their show, doing harmony warm-ups, and it's
Yeah.
like pre auto tune and
Right.
Melodyne and all that stuff. And it's like, man, those guys were really doing it for real back then. And
Yes.
it's almost a lost art nowadays. So you gotta at least love it and respect it.
Yeah, just because just it's like Ozzy, man. I mean, kid coming up today might not then, but trust me, you're standing on the shoulders because of the rhythms and everything that was built since him. That those rhythms were built on him, and then some others were built on top of that. Yeah, you stand on that, and it's like that's why you have to kind of respect. Like there's some bands that I don't like a lot of this stuff, but there's some and there's parts of it that I understand where it came from, and yeah, I have respect for that.
Well, now we have AI, man. AI bands.
No, who was it? Did you?
I just posted
You
that today.
posted that today. Yeah, man. Look, yeah.
There's one AI band that's already making $34,000 a month.
That irritates me because
That's
I know
very,
what
very
I know what
bad.
Aaron and CJ and all these guys go through.
Yeah.
And that's
It's got over 1 million followers, and they're making $34K a month.
I wonder what they
It's
make.
a generated band, AI generated.
What do you think about that, Aaron?
Is that the future?
I hope not.
I just watched an interesting article, or not article, an interview with Andrew Sheps yesterday. He's a producer that I follow a lot, and he's Grammy Award winner, like worked with Metallica and Jay-Z. He's huge, right? But he seems to be on the cutting edge of everything. He's innovated plugins with waves and stuff. He's just super knowledgeable.
Yeah.
And he's talking about AI. And he makes a good point. He's like, there's inevitably AI is going to involve itself. It's going to integrate itself into music production and creation. It's just inevitable. However, he makes a good point that the AI can only operate within the parameters that it's given.
True.
And he says the cool thing about music is that this is literally, like, I just watched this before I went to bed last night. He goes, anytime ever in music that something has happened that made you go, whoa, it was because it was either the first time somebody had done it or the only time somebody had done it. And that is how innovation happens. So I think that AI is going to be really good at speeding up workflow. I know artists that I know personally that are currently using AI to kind of, how would you say, like demo ideas for them.
Right.
Like like ChatGPT, I want you to write me a song, music, like an instrumental song that is in the vein of, I don't know, Typo Negative maybe, and it's this BPM and it's in this key and it's got this kind of vibe. And then that artist would take those ideas and from that gain inspiration to write a different song.
I have no problem with that whatsoever.
Me neither. I think that's personally brilliant, because what that does is it takes out all of the tedious legwork of sitting down in Pro Tools and having this idea in my head and saying, okay, I want to write a song that's in the vein of Typo Negative in A minor at 80 BPM. So it's going to take me an hour or two to put down an idea. Whereas with using AI, I can put that prompt in and get 10 ideas. And I can listen to those ideas and maybe find an inspiring piece of something in there, or a couple of them, and take that out of that context and make something new that I created. And I think that's a totally wonderful use of time, right, and resources. Faster is better. If we're making more music more efficiently and it's still good music, then I'm all about it. The problem lies with these bands that are making $34K a month,
when it's all
and
AI,
all that money, and it's just more money going to the labels.
Yeah, that's
Well, the labels
It's
aren't
just more
making
money
it.
going in the pocket.
It's actually there's two companies that are getting sued now by the labels, and that's who's making the money. That it's not the record labels.
Yes.
So
Well, you know what? I kind of want to applaud those companies now.
Yeah. Well, see, that's why I thought. I said, if it's the record labels doing it, I mean, Jesus
It's not.
Christ, they're already pinching these guys like Aaron and them so much. What do you want to cut them out completely now and have
no, the record labels are trying to get back in front of it, because it seems like it's already kind of getting out of control.
I just don't want it to be like, okay, look, like I watch YouTube Premium, which I think me and Aaron talked about that. I could
Oh yeah, that's
nonstop.
$15 a month I spend.
That's exactly right. That's what he told me. It's true. And I mean, the stories that they get. Say they get a story on something historical that happened, and you could tell me about the sinking of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Well, what happened. So there's physical proof, and there's this, and there's all this. But if you get reading it, if you're not doing any of the work and storytelling yourself, and it's all AI generated, AI reading, I pretty much tune out of those goddamn channels, man. And they drive me nuts. But I don't mind AI helping us. I mean, it's no different, I guess, in a way than dropping some kind of beat in the background when you're playing a song. You have some tracks that are played, but most everything else is played.
But I think it's discouraging because, just locally, we hear a lot of guys that you see them on Facebook. They're like, man, I'm struggling to pay the bills, doing these gigs and not making any money.
That's all of
how
them,
long
man.
do I do this?
Yeah, and that's every musician. That's why,
right,
all these guys tour is because if they don't tour and sell merch, they don't make money, man.
Yeah. So
that's what we joke about in Gemini is that we're glorified T-shirt salesmen.
Yeah,
that's
play music on the side.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I had friends ask like, "Oh man, they must be." I'm like, "Man, let me tell you, things have changed quite a bit."
Yeah,
I think Drowning Pool got in with that first album, but then pretty much after that, everything was, so
it's tough out there.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, the Drowning Pool guys had the luxury and bless them for it that they had that huge tune that was picked up by movies and publishing. Like, had that not happened, I don't think they'd be able to still be doing it, to be honest with you. And I love those guys.
That's very true. And dude, somebody else just did another version of that song using the dry pool. I shared it yesterday. I can't remember who it is, but yeah, it's the techno stuff. And I'm like, God dang. Wow. That's great for any of these musicians that do that. That's the dream, is to have something that's picked up and dropped and picked up again. And then picked up again.
And becomes immortal in a sense, right? There's this longevity and this reanimation. Yeah.
Reanimation, that's a good way.
It's tough though, man. If you're not in that situation, there's like a plateau or a barrier, you know what I mean? That before you cross that boundary, you're broke.
Right.
Yeah, that's very
true. After you pass that boundary, you're not broke. But there's not like a middle class of musicians, as far as I can tell.
No, it's
if there is,
that's a good point.
If there is, it's because they do other stuff.
Oh, very much so.
It's
because they have another business, or because they have a T-shirt printing company, or because they do mixes on the side, or they produce other bands.
And we know those guys, right?
Or they do live sound.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, everybody's got to have multiple. My friend Kane told me this. It's been a huge part of my philosophy. Is the multiple buckets theory, right? If I'm collecting rain, I want to have a bunch of little buckets, because if one of them gets knocked over, I still have 18 other buckets that have water in them. But if I just have that one, bucket, I have my Gemini syndrome bucket of money. And that, you know what I mean? Which is still, most of that goes to the labels still anyway, even after 15 years. I don't know that I've seen $1 from any of my records that I've made yet.
Point zero
so
zero
if that bucket, right, exactly. If that bucket gets knocked over, well, then I'm shit out of luck. So you got to have this kind of diversified approach to, I teach lessons, I do production and mixing with people when I'm home, and then I do, I do Cameo, and I have just all these different.
He's built his name now. Use that name, where you can to help, to help you get yours.
And features being in other people, like people can hire me to sing in their song, you know what I mean? I'm not going to be in a band with you, but you can hire me to be on a tune. I did that a bunch of this last year, and I think 3 of the ones that I did ended up charting top 10 Billboard. And it's funny, even that, like, I'm a top 10 charting artist, and it doesn't really matter.
No, I know. It does. Yeah. So what? Where's
the
money,
mean
bro?
What it meant 20. It doesn't mean what it meant 20 years ago.
No, it's a huge thing.
At least not in my world.
Exactly.
It's a huge. Speaking of that, you brought up a topic about charting. What's the over under on Ozzy or Black Sabbath getting some charting?
Oh man,
coming week?
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and their numbers on Spotify and Apple and all that will just skyrocket. So they'll be getting
Lita Ford's
a
going to
huge bump
benefit from that.
Oh yeah, anybody peripherally,
Mhm.
yeah, they'll all catch on for that. Yeah,
Ozzy's biggest song was with Lita.
was it?
Close My Eyes Forever. Yeah, that was one of his biggest songs.
I don't think it was his biggest.
Wow.
I think it
you're
was
right,
the
you're right.
biggest.
You're wrong. No, I'm just kidding.
I think I'm not.
No, yeah, that's
I'm a stats guy, man.
yeah, you are a stats guy. That is true. But no, that's music industry is the little I know of it, and just brushing up against it. Yeah, it is, man. You better get out there and be a salesman of yourself, and that's, it's a lot like
Rob's right, bro. Sorry to cut you off, but Rob's totally right. That's
Yeah.
the most. So
Surprisingly, though, even with all the Black Sabbath stuff and the UK music market's really hard. A lot of UK musicians, they had to come to the US. Led Zeppelin, for example, had to come to the US to get popular. They were not popular in the UK.
No, it's weird that some do the reverse thing. Some do the,
yeah,
David
I was
House-
going to say,
Dave-
especially nowadays, it's not necessarily that one way. You can be pretty successful in Europe,
Yeah,
and America has no idea who you are.
Billy Idol did the
And
same
then you have
thing.
bands that are, yeah, sure.
He had to come here to get famous.
Hey, you can be David Hasselhoff and go to Germany, and then have your big show in the
Exactly.
U.S. You can have your big show playing in the U.S. live.
It's
and
bizarre
then,
how that happens.
And then OJ gets chased and it gets totally railroaded. that's still funny, but that did happen that night. Yeah, that's crazy. But now, Aaron, man, I appreciate you joining us today, man. We
Definitely. Good talk, man.
yeah, it is a good talk. And look,
Yeah,
Aaron,
my pleasure.
Aaron's I meet a lot of good people out there. I like to collect people.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely one of them, man.
And Doug's wearing your mannequin shirt right now.
I am wearing it
In the
today.
studio.
It's awesome, man. I appreciate you. I had a really good time hanging out with you.
He didn't bring me one.
You can get shit.
Well, if I see him in November, I'll
Send me a link.
hook you up.
I'll order one from you.
He'll get it.
Yeah.
He'll get it. I bring. I tell this story. I think I told you a little bit about Rob's. Rob's a musician, and
I'm a COVID survivor.
he's a COVID survivor. He did the 3 months in the coma, and he's one of the ones that came out. He spent 3 more months in the hospital.
No way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a survivor.
Wow.
And 9 months after being home,
Good
I
for
was
you, man.
I was called up for work, and I've been working. July 18th, I guess, was 3 years at work. Back at work.
Yeah, he's got to wear a hose under his nose most of the time.
I still get on stage and I take my little oxygen machine up. There.
He still plays, yeah, man, and
Can't
Wow,
stop.
good for you, man.
Yeah.
Good for you.
yeah,
Thank you.
He kept on going. But and also I want to thank Aaron and them. They I had my first ever experience on the wharf, Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco, and because
wow.
him and Peter came, and we went and had dinner, and that was.
Oh, I think I saw a picture of that. Is that true?
Yeah, we
Did
went
you-
up. That's,
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that was a big deal. If I'm going to go there, and we stayed not far from there,
Okay.
it was.
I think I recall you sent a picture of that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we had a good time,
Awesome.
man.
That was one of my favorite nights of the whole tour. Despite the kind of fiasco of not everybody could stay at the hotel, we couldn't fit the van and trailer because it's San Francisco. And
Yeah.
so Scotty and them just went and got an Airbnb outside of town, but we had already had the rooms. So Peter and I each took a room, and Doug had a room. And so the three of us we walked down to the wharf. We had, we walked down to Pier 39. We walked around for a little bit. I'd never spent any time in that part of the city either. I've been to San Fran and played there, over the years, but that was a new experience for me too. And I love novel experiences. So yeah, we went and found a little restaurant on the wharf and had some crab delicacies.
Yeah, it was
And
good.
walked around a little bit. It was freezing. It was awesome. It was nice and cold. And
Yeah, it was cold
compared
as
to the
shit.
100
Wow.
Cold and it was
compared to the 110 we had just been in.
Yeah,
Wow.
no telling. No wonder we didn't come out sick after that damn trip. It was one extreme.
No doubt.
Yeah, one extreme.
No
to the other.
doubt. And then, the next morning when we went to meet up with everybody, we had a day off and we were driving up north. And, just driving through, we drove over the Golden Gate Bridge and stuff, and it was all foggy. And it was just a cool, I have a really cool video, Doug. If I didn't send it to you, I have to. It's me sitting in the back seat, Peter's riding shotgun, and you guys are chatting.
Oh,
And I'm videoing us. Did I send that to you yet?
You did
I don't
send
remember
it.
if I did. So
But tell
okay,
tell
because
tell the point where it gets cut
it's
off.
so good. So it's beautiful, right? We're driving over the Golden Gate Bridge. They're talking about the scenery and stuff. We're driving through patches of clouds and whatnot. And then at one point, Doug says, "What's the best place to jump, do you think?" And I stopped the video right there. I'm like, and we're done recording.
Yeah,
That's Doug, 100%.
yeah,
It was fantastic because I was gonna put it on like my stories or something
Yeah.
on Instagram. And I'm like, and we're done.
I had
Just
no
keep that for my
clue.
private
I had no
collection.
clue he was back there doing that. So
That's
yeah,
funny.
So funny, so funny. Something I would have said too, man.
That's Doug, always
Just a
saying
little-
something like that.
saying something that nobody else
Yeah.
was, just to get the jaw reaction, man.
Yeah.
But,
That was perfect. It was perfect. I loved it. I think that was the moment where I was like, "Yep, we're buddies.
yeah,
You're my people."
yeah, we can say now. Hey, you before we go, you got to definitely give us some socials and stuff where people can find you, man.
Yeah. So at Gemini Syndrome everywhere, right? Whether
Okay.
it's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. The same with Aaron Nordstrom. All of my stuff, whether it be on Spotify or Facebook or Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. I also have a project in Belgium called Wyote. It's spelled like coyote, but with a W. That's a band I'm in with Mikey Doling from Snot and 4 of our bros from Belgium.
Go ahead, man.
So we've got a record out. You can check that out. It's at Wyote Official, all over the place for that. And then you can mannequinmusic.com, spelled MANAKIN music.com. I'll have I'm working on the store at this moment, so that should be up presently, and then we'll have dates up for the November run with Scotty and Peter. I'm doing a run with them also in March, I believe, and I'm working on some other little solo tour stuff happening right now. Yeah, I think that's about, there's a mailing list at mannequinmusic.com if you want to sign up, and you get updates about anything new that happens, any features I do, any music I'm releasing. I'm currently working on recording a bunch of my solo mannequin stuff. Some of it's going to be in the context that Doug witnessed, like just kind of solo piano voice. And then some of it's going to be more full band kind of production stuff, but that doesn't really fit for the Gemini Syndrome or the Wyote camp. So hoping to have that stuff out by the end of the year and kind of expanding my own personal catalog. I do produce and mix. If anybody ever wants to work with me that could reach out, I'd be more than happy to oblige.
That's a good idea, man. If you get a chance, get out and see that Aaron's solo stuff that he does with the acoustic, and then or go and see him with the with Peter and Scotty, because it's a unique experience, man. It really is. I love the.
And they're more
the
intimate
plugin.
shows.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah, so that's always better, man.
And that was a weird place
Yeah.
that we went in Washington, and the crowd wasn't the biggest in the world, but it was great. The crowd was the most enthusiastic.
But they loved it.
Yeah,
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody left. They all came down after, and yeah, they were busy as shit. Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah, I'll tell you, this tour was it was weird because I know Scotty's played out on the West Coast a bunch, and I'm from the West Coast. I've played out here a bunch, and turnout was iffy for some of these shows. But the exchange rate, so to say, of how many people were there versus how many people enjoyed themselves was like virtually 100%.
That's awesome.
So, you got to look at it from that. If
That makes it
if
worth
there's
it.
not 1,000. Yeah, even if
Yeah.
there's 50 people or even there was a couple up, especially up in the Idaho area that were pretty thin, but everybody there loved it, man. They had a great
Yeah.
time. So
it's a unique.
at the end of the day,
experience,
that's how we build this stuff. Is you play small shows, everybody has a good time, everybody tells their friends, and then you come back again,
Yeah.
and hopefully they bring all those people, and then that just keeps happening. So
That's awesome, man. Good to
we
hear.
keep crushing it, we keep grinding it out. What else are we gonna do here?
Yeah.
we have no choice.
You
man.
must create.
That's right,
That's right.
Aaron.
You know it. You know it.
Thanks so much for joining us
Yeah,
today,
dude.
bro.
Thanks.
Of course, Doug. Thanks for the invite, man. Nice to meet you, Rob.
Thank you.
I enjoyed talking to you, Doug, and I look forward to seeing you again.
We'll make it happen, man.
Yeah.
All right, everybody out there, go and find Aaron's stuff and make sure you subscribe and like it. And same with the Nonsense Chronicles. And we are out of here.
Later.